What's up, Geeksters? It's me, Omar from geeksterlabs.com, and today I have another video in my series of GH5 instructional videos. If you guys want to check out any of those other videos like the unboxing, sample footage, a full body tour, just click on the card in the top right corner or click on one of the playlist clips at the end of this video. So for this one, I'm going to show you guys how you set up super slow-mo or VFR mode on the GH5, and it's not very cut and dry. There's actually a couple steps to set it up, so I'm going to show you guys how you get to it. So first off, we need to make sure we are in the creative video mode. So on the top of the camera, make sure the dial is on there. It has a little camera with the M next to it. So once you have that switched into place, you want to get into the menu. We want to go down to the second menu option right here. So here we need to go to record format. Okay, so the only two modes that you can do VFR mode in is MP4 or LPCM and .mov. Those two options at the very bottom there. I'm going to do .mov. After that, you want to go to record quality. So when you're in here, if you notice on the left side, it'll let you know what modes will allow you to do VFR mode. So we can go 1080, 60 frames per second, 30 frames per second, 24 frames per second. You can even do 4K at 24 frames per second and 30 frames per second in VFR mode. But if you want to have true 180 frames per second at 7.5 times slow-mo, this is the option you want to do. You want to do 1080 at 24 frames per second, 23.98, whatever. So you select that one. Now we're going to go into the first menu here, and there it is, variable frame rate. So now you can turn that on, and you want to go to set. So this is when you can set what speed you want it to be. So it goes all the way from 2, which is more like time lapse than anything else. And this will allow you to go all the way up to 180 frames per second, shooting it at 24 frames per second, which will give us a very smooth, nice slow-mo footage. So very cool. So once you have that, you're ready to go. So here are some tips when shooting in VFR mode. One, what it looks like on the display is not how it's going to film. It's going to be darker than what it looks like on the screen here. So you're going to want to mess with the ISO and other settings to kind of brighten it up a little bit. I wouldn't go past 1600, because once you go past 1600, you're going to introduce a little bit of graininess into your slow-mo footage, and you're not going to want that. It's going to be very obvious. So make sure it's very well lit, and try not to go past 1600 if you can. You want to keep that as low as possible. So once you're set and ready to go, let me go ahead and do my little guy here. I'm sure you have some, there we go, some super fast movement. So you saw how fast he's moving right there. So now let me switch it over to replay. You can kind of see how slow his head is moving right there. So keep in mind, the footage is actually going to be slow. It's not like on some Sony cameras it films it at 120 frames per second, and when you import it in, it's playing at normal speed, but it will allow you to slow it down if you want to. This footage is actually slowed down. When you import it, it will be slow. You can mess around with the timing a little bit, make it a little bit speed up if you want to. It's not going to look very good, but you can do that. So just keep that in mind. It is actually recording it in slow-mo, not just at high frames per second. So one thing to keep in mind. So this is a really cool option, something real fun to play with, and it will allow you to do lots of cool stuff like this.